Incredible stuff. Yeah. So, guys, I know that we're taking questions from the PlayStation community, but this is a show about showing you the game.
Yes.
Right? And we have gameplay that we're going to be, like, going right into right now. And what are we going right into? We're going into tutorial, right?
Yeah, well, basically, what we're going to step in is basically PY, our demoist, is just in the game right now, and he's walking around, as you can see. And we want to show a bit of the tools outside of hacking at first. So I know there's been a lot of questions from the community on how many guns will Aiden be able to use. So as you can see right now, if POI can open the weapon wheel, there you go. So you have all the tools all the like offensive tools, weapons and stuff like that Aiden can use. So you have your handgun, you have your sniper rifle, you have your machine guns,
high-powered weapons.
I mean,
right?
Exactly.
I'll jump in on that. Obviously, it's basically a shooter. So everything you find in a shooter, pistols, SMGs, assault rifle, shotguns, pistols with silencers, snipers. You have all of that in the weaponry. You also have a lot of crafted items. So you see in diagonal. I find like grenades. All of these are crafted. Like you can create a blackout. You can create a jam comms. We have proximity bombs, which will blow up enemies as they come closer. IEDs, which are remote hacked bombs if you want, and lures to make the AI move. So all of these are basically crafted. You see in the middle, there's a small kind of craft text there. Yeah. That means if you have the right components, you can create these items on the fly. So it's pretty easy to craft them, and you can become very effective and powerful once you have a lot of these tools. And these are unlocked in the skill tree, which we'll see in a few minutes.
Yeah, skill tree is... Oh, something happened there.
You want to open the skill tree?
Yep.
Basically, these are all the skills that Aiden has in the game. Just a small distinction on your bottom left, your notoriety skills. Those are specifically multiplayer skills. The big wheel in the center is the skills of like common to single player and multiplayer. They're in 4 categories. So hacking, you have everything in there that's related to affecting the system. So like the bridges, the L train, I mean the spikes and the traffic lights, and hacking the police chopper, blowing up the steam pipe. Look at that one. The video is pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, if you're a beginning player, right, what would you say is the most versatile first step in leveling your character?
I would highly recommend to buy hacking skills, because it's a game about hacking.
Okay.
So if you don't have hacking, you'll find the chases and the cops pretty tough. I also think if you move on to combat, this is everything that has to do with your resistance, having more demolition power. But on the left there, you have focus.
Yes.
Which is basically Aiden's ability for quick thinking. It can be used to help you while you're driving, while you're shooting, but especially help you to hack and be very effective. So you can kind of slow down time, look around, and choose the right hack if the chopper is after you, and you can hack the chopper. I mean, it becomes very effective to use that tool. So there's quite a lot. I don't want to go too much in detail, but if you go in crafting, go back one step UI. And crafting, these are all the tools we saw on the wheel, basically. So you'll find the lures, the blackout, and the...
And I strongly suggest the explosive ones.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Once you meet the armored enemy, you'll be really happy you have those tools.
Definitely.
So it's a nice tip. We talked about that, so I think we can...
Now, I got to ask, like, it reminds me of a DNA strand. Is there any similarities behind that? Right? Oh, you guys are all smiling. I don't know.
It's not that your question is stupid. Like,
it's something else.
No. It's just because no, it's actually an interesting angle to look at it, but I don't think it's the way it's been inspired from. Like, what really happened is we have an entire department that works on UD and MoGraph and all of that stuff. They had a pretty big challenge in helping the player choose the right stuff. and being able to understand the different choices and show everything at the same time. So we had to do a skill tree plus the progression wheel, which we'll probably show later on, and we had to use the same system all the time. So it was a challenge of representing all that information with a single screen. We didn't want to have the player do thousands of inputs or going from one page to another. So it's easier to navigate that way. I think they did a great job, and that was definitely a hard thing to put together for sure.
I just saw a good question on the chat there while we were on the skill tree. Someone asked, how do you unlock the skills? I know you have points in there, but how do you get those points? How does the level
it's basically similar to an RPG. So all the actions you do in missions, you'll get some experience points.
All right.
So micro actions like taking down enemies or taking down chasers, and if you're in the city, they'll give you experience points. Then those will translate into skill points, and then you can buy all the skills with your skill points.
All right. And does pretty much every action gives you?
It's all mainly all the micro actions that have a challenge associated to it.
All right.
So like walking down the street, no, but shooting an enemy, taking him down, like by stealth, yes.
All right.
PY just showed the car on demand. I think it's a really nice tool because in the that's not a good sign. But it's a really good tool.
Anything can happen.
You can get into any car, right?
Yeah, you can take any car, any vehicle you see. Actually, the thing with car on demand that's really cool. Yeah, now he triggered a chase.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck with that, PY. What's really cool about this is you can actually customize your driving experience. What I mean by that is, if you really like a car, you tried it, you found it randomly in the city. Well, you can actually unlock it through here and reuse that car, in your game, because it's difficult to, randomly pick a car you like if you're just roaming. So there's a lot of categories, but the more interesting ones I would say are the gameplay efficient ones like motorcycle, muscle cars, sport cars, performance as well. And if you go in heavy category, you can just have fun with a garbage truck. Always cool.
Or a taco truck. Is a taco truck available for car on demand?
We have just the van, but we don't have the taco head on it.
No taco truck, so you'll just have to find the taco truck by yourself.
But if you want to do a convoy, you can really plan some crazy things with tools like these. So it's good for player expression.
All right. I saw a question also while we were in the phone functionalities. Someone asked what can be done about music. How can you customize your music in the game?
PY, can you just open the music player so we can actually give them a little hint at that? The way the music works, we embrace the phone type of approach for that. Like I think, like for myself, for example, I'll use a lot my phone to play music. So that's kind of the approach we had. We have a bunch of songs. The player simply can customize his own playlist, decide what's being played, what's not played. You can also use like a kind of a Shazam-like type of app that we call like Sound Sneak, when you can actually discover more song in the world. Like, so you can, like, if you hear a song played in a car, for example, you can just hold the button, register which song it is, and it gets unlocked into your track. The same thing with music that plays in bars and stuff like that. So it's kind of a nice way to go for this kind of approach, which means that when you can play your playlist, you put it on, it's going to play while you're on foot, it's going to play while you're in car, and you can decide to just put it at automatic play when you get in a car, those kind of options.
Basically a lot like our lives today, right? We customize our musical experience, so we're trying to give that fantasy in the same way in our game.